If this same situation were in any other country or even in my own city of Delhi right now, you'd probably suffocate. Guys, right now I am in North Korea. That's right, the North Korea of Africa, Eritrea. The first shock I got after arriving here was that this country has no internet. WhatsApp, social media, and even VPNs are all banned. In fact, there isn't a single ATM in the entire country. Even the TV programs are monitored. You can only watch what the government allows you to see. Just look at this car. You get to see such incredible vintage cars here. You'll see movie shops like this here where you can find all kinds of different films on CD. There were these two buses joined together like this. It was so interesting. Cinema Abeba. This is where they put up posters for the movies. Since its independence, the country has never held an election. And just imagine this, the leader who became president in 1993 is still in power more than 3 decades later. In Eritrea, it's like time has literally frozen. The streets, the cars, the public transport, even the way people dress gives off these retro vibes from 1990s Italy. It honestly feels like I've traveled back in time. So let's go explore Eritrea, a country where nostalgia seems to peek around every corner, giving off that unmistakable 90s feel, whether you actually lived through the decade or not. Alright, so I've stepped out after a little rest, ready to explore the central region of Eritrea and its capital, the largest city, Asmara. Speaking of their other big cities, Msawa is also a popular one, which actually used to be their first capital. And just as Asmara lies within the central region, the entire country is divided into 6 regions in total. Some kids are playing football on the street. Now, if you look at Eritrea on a map, you'll see it's located on the Horn of Africa. And the Horn of Africa is the 4th largest peninsula in the world. 4 countries make up this horn: Djibouti, Somalia, Eritrea, and Ethiopia. Eritrea is a pretty small country. Its area is about 117,000 square kilometers, which, to give you some perspective, is just a little larger than the state of Pennsylvania. It's often called the North Korea of Africa, but for entirely different reasons. Interestingly, its physical size is almost the same as North Korea's. I'm heading towards the main road now, walking towards the downtown area nearby. Let's see what we can find. Kubrom's place looks like an ice cream shop. Wow, look at the old cars, bicycles, and a shop selling CDs. Movie CDs. I mean, it's been such a long time since I've come across a shop selling movie CDs. You know, the kind you'd pick out, take home, and then pop into a DVD player or even your computer to sit back and watch a film. I've only walked a little bit and I've already spotted a souvenir shop. I might actually find a fridge magnet there. I honestly wasn't expecting to find any fridge magnets in this country or any souvenirs at all. Let's go check it out. And just look at the streets, the same old classic cars. Look at that one up ahead. This feels incredible. These vintage cars are pretty normal here. This is the gift shop. Let's see if we can find a fridge magnet or something. Mobile card available. So I got these 2 fridge magnets. This one's of a place called Medaber and it looked pretty cool. This magnet shows the typical cars parked here. I haven't actually seen this place yet, but I bought the magnet anyway. It was 80 nakfa for one, which is about 5.3 US dollars. A bit pricey, but I got 2 of them. Who knows when I'll be back in a country like this or if I'd ever find another magnet. So I grabbed 2 souvenirs for 160 nakfa. So check it out. These are the kinds of movie shops you'll come across here. The ones where you can search the shelves and find all sorts of CDs, from old classics to modern movies. Would you look at that vintage car over there? Absolutely stunning. Even though it's sunny, there's this cool, gentle breeze. You can tell by how everyone's got a jacket on, there's a pleasant chill in the air. It's that kind of weather where you're warm in the sun but still want something light to be comfortable. Now, Eritrea doesn't have an official language, but you'll see this script written everywhere. You might wonder what script this is, but it's actually for a language called Tigrinya. And Tigrinya is also spoken in parts of Ethiopia, though differently. Amharic is the language of Ethiopia. The script you are looking at is the Amharic script. While Amharic is spoken in Ethiopia, in its northern Tigray region, they also speak Tigrinya, which is one of the main languages in Eritrea. So while there's no official language here, Tigrinya is widely spoken. Also, the Muslim population mostly speaks Arabic. A few people speak English as well. The main working languages are Tigrinya, Arabic, and English. The country has two main religions. It's almost split half and half between Christians and Muslims. Christians might be slightly over 50% and the rest are Muslims. And there are 9 ethnic groups here and each one has its own language. Now, don't get confused here. Tigrinya is a language. Tigray is the region in Ethiopia where they speak Tigrinya. But there's also a separate Tigray ethnic group. They are the second largest ethnic group here in Eritrea and they have their own Tigray language. So there are 9 ethnic groups in this country which you can see on the screen now. The Saho, Afar, Beja, all with their own languages. But the most commonly used is Tigrinya. And as for the Muslim population, they mostly speak Arabic. Communicating in English isn't really a big problem here. So far in my experience, everyone speaks a little bit of functional English. And the script for the Tigrinya language is just like Amharic. They are very similar to read. If you look here, you can't really tell if it's Amharic or Tigrinya written. For someone like me who doesn't know, it's impossible. Here's an English school. The languages themselves are also somewhat similar. I mean, if they listen very carefully to each other, they can understand bits and pieces. Someone from Ethiopia who speaks Amharic and someone from Eritrea who speaks Tigrinya, or from Ethiopia's northern Tigray region, they can understand each other a little. Now, the people from this region are known as Habesha, which mainly refers to those from Ethiopia and Eritrea's highlands. Culturally and in appearance, they share many similarities. At first glance, you might think they are Ethiopian, but please do not make the mistake of confusing them. And even if you do, don't say it out loud. Don't ask if they are Ethiopian, because it really offends them. This country has suffered a lot. This nation has a very painful past. For many years, they were under Ethiopian rule after being forcefully annexed. After a long and difficult struggle, they finally gained their independence. That's why they really don't like being referred to as Ethiopians. Autonomy may have been granted to them, but they continued to face terrible treatment despite being an autonomous country. And the Ethiopians even carried out genocides here. Even though they may look similar, don't ever call them that by mistake, because they are different people, a different country, and they do not want to be associated with them at all. I mean, who would, after going through such hardships and facing such atrocities in their own homeland? There is a bus stop here, and this seems to be their main street heading towards downtown. It's quite empty. That's a beautiful building over there. Teachers Association of Eritrea. This is likely the main road. It's very well maintained. See, an old bus just went by. It's exactly 5 p.m. right now. But this place feels completely empty and is almost too quiet with hardly anyone around while it's evening time. And we're on a main street in the downtown of the nation's capital. And every few feet there are benches like these, which I think is a great touch. You can just sit down, relax and enjoy the view. Here's another intersection with a bench right in the middle. There was a gas station by the road and look at this car. This is the kind of car you get to see here. Oh my god, what a magnificent car. The whole country has this vibe, the same feeling this car gives off. It's probably for weddings, just like in India, how they have limousines and special cars for weddings. This must be for that. Look, it has photos of couples on it. It must be a wedding car. It's so cool. Getting behind the wheel of a car like this would be amazing. You know, I'm really starting to like this country so far. It's also peaceful around here. I know I keep repeating myself, but it feels like I've traveled back in time and I'm loving it. Now, the people of this country have been through a lot in the past. So they're kind of uneasy when it comes to phones and cameras, but I wouldn't say they aren't friendly or nice. Not at all, you can just feel it. If I don't have my phone in my hand, people will walk by and give me a smile. They're pleasant to talk to. I mean, there are two types of reactions that you get. One is they get aggressive when they see a camera, like what happens in West Africa. It's not like that here. The people here, they're more intimidated. They're not used to tourists, as foreigners don't really come here. Let's go sit on this bench for a bit. There's a food place over there. Burger, juice, hot drinks, ice cream, pizza, burrito, taco, sambusa, which are like the samosas we have in India. Wow, what a perfect location for a bench. Like I said, in many countries in West Africa, people would get aggressive. Why are you filming? Why are you taking pictures of our country? Give us money. They get hostile like that. It's not the case here. They're just scared. They've had such a painful past, which we'll discuss in more detail in upcoming videos. So they get a little intimidated. You can see the hint of fear on their faces, and when a foreigner is here, they think about why they are here or why they are investigating things. And you know, they have a right to feel that way. They're perfectly justified. But still, they don't get aggressive. They're very friendly people and seem very gentle and compliant. They are good humans. They've been occupied so many times throughout history, and each time they've had to struggle and fight for their freedom. Even now, despite finally becoming an independent nation, people continue to live in constant fear. There is no genuine media or press freedom, and human rights are almost non existent here. So, in many ways, it must feel to them as if they're still trapped in the past, carrying the same burdens, the same anxieties. Oh wow, did you see that? A really fascinating bus just went by. It looked like two buses joined together, almost like a train on wheels. But you know what? I don't think I've ever in my entire life sat in the middle of a capital city's downtown on a weekday at 5 p.m. in a main square and felt this much peace, this much relaxation. It's incredible. If this were any other country in the world, in the middle of a city square, you'd suffocate from the chaos. This is just amazing. It's so peaceful and relaxing. It's absolutely soothing. I keep putting my phone down to just enjoy the scenery and the silence. It's so calming, as I said. And I'm not even lying, I'm not exaggerating really. I've been to 116 countries, seen so many different places and cultures, but this feeling right here, I've never experienced anything like it before. Usually, when I'm filming, there's so much background noise, I can't record without a microphone. And today, I didn't even bring my mic. And yet, I'm able to make videos. I'm just sitting here in peace, doing nothing, just observing people, just watching their lifestyle and how different it is from the rest of the world, from us. And just watching it is so enjoyable. All around, every few feet, there are benches as I showed you earlier. I think that's such a great feature. Alright, let's get going from here. It was nice sitting here for 10 minutes. I took a right from that road and it led to another main area. That structure behind the building might be the cathedral or a church. Wow, just look at these views. Take a look. Who would say it's 2025 in this country? Here's a flower shop. And that looks like a restaurant. People are sitting there. They probably serve Italian food like everywhere else. Asmara, coffee, juices, breakfast. Looks fantastic. And across the street, you see pizza and spaghetti house on both sides. I can't stop myself from going into this place. It's a bakery. And this is their menu. There was a small tea and coffee shop on the roadside, but the menu is all in Tigrinya. I can't understand any of it except for this part in English. Tea, ginger, and different kinds of coffee. What should I drink? I'll have to ask them when they come to take the order. What a view! But look at the most interesting thing here on the menu. Tea with coffee, both together at once. That's interesting. And the funniest part? We're sipping it right in front of the Ministry of Education. Their clock says 12:45, while my watch says 5:30 in the evening. Maybe they're running on some kind of secret schedule that the rest of us will never figure out. It's little surprises like these that make traveling so much fun and memorable. Alright, my tea is here. I asked for whatever is the typical traditional Eritrean tea, but they brought me a Lipton tea bag along with some lemon and sugar. This was 5 Eritrean nakfa, which is less than 35 cents. It's a bit expensive for a tea actually, but this must be a nice cafe in a prime location. So this is hot water and I'll just dip my tea bag in. But what's amazing is that I don't see a single other tourist on this street. Of course, it is one of the least visited countries, so nobody really comes here. And as you've seen, it's not convenient to get here, to travel around. There's no internet, nothing. So it's not for everyone. And most people don't even know about this country. Even if they do, getting here is very difficult and complicated. So yeah, there are no tourists on this road besides me. Everyone around is a local. The table next to me is free now, so I'm just gonna move my things over there. It's a much better table. It feels like life has gone into slow motion. You know, the girl from the airport immigration just walked past here. I was about to call out to her, but she got a bit too far ahead. In fact, the guy at immigration, the one who was speaking Hindi, he told me, "I'll come to your hotel. We'll have tea together." We didn't exchange numbers or anything. It's the old school way here. He said, "Okay, I'll just come to your hotel and call for you from downstairs." I said, "Alright man, do come." He promised he'd be here in a day or two, and I replied, "Okay brother, we'll definitely have tea." Over here is a travel agency. I guess people come here to book their flights. But I wonder where they get the internet to do that. Bar Royal must be a bar, I guess. It's right here on the main road. Western Union money transfer. I believe people use it to send money abroad. And look at this, you can see the Italian architecture and Art Deco buildings. This part looks so much like Italy, doesn't it? Look ahead too. It feels like I've arrived in Italy, the Italian version of Africa. And look here. I think this is where they put up movie posters. They still have it here. A board to show which movie is playing in the theater. They put up posters here for the current film. This is something I last saw in India maybe 15 years ago. It might still exist in smaller towns, but in the big cities it's almost disappeared. Look, cinema. Cinema Abeba. They put the posters for upcoming films inside here. It's empty for now though, so I'm not entirely sure if they still use it. And this is their main cathedral. Just look at the architecture. At least the clock here is showing the right time, not like the one at the Ministry of Education. Right outside the church, there is a bus stop with a bus parked at it. As I mentioned before, these are the stops where people wait for the bus to arrive, going about their daily routine. I think this is a popular spot for them. It's evening time. People are sitting here soaking up the sun, just enjoying themselves. Here's another notice board. I think any news or announcements get posted here. Something is written at the top in their language, but I don't know what it is. I'm assuming it's either for movie posters or maybe something else entirely. People have thrown empty Marlboro cigarette packs and trash inside it, but I guess this is their notice board. Any important news would probably be posted here. And some more interesting architecture over here. Quite a few kids are selling tissues here. Okay, let's cross the road. Right ahead is Asmara Cafe. Let's go in. Asmara Sweet Cafe. What have they put outside? They have all sorts of things. There's a chocolate mocha pastry, cheesecake, and pizza down below. Pizza is something you'll find everywhere here. There are chocolate donuts along with all sorts of pastries and freshly baked breads beautifully arranged on display. I ordered one of these and I'll have another tea or coffee with it. The amazing thing is they have all kinds of coffee. It's a huge tradition in Italy, well, all of Europe, but even more so in Italy. So you'll find all sorts of coffees at every cafe here. Pizza and coffee, it really gives off a total Italian vibe, like something you'd expect to find in a little cafe on the streets of Rome. People are sitting here, there's a cashier, you have to pay first and then your order arrives. My bill for this snack came to 27 nakfa, which is around $1.80. For my Indian viewers, that's just about 150 rupees. By the way, this cake is delicious, really good. It has a strong flavor of cinnamon and the coffee is excellent too. It's amazing. I'm genuinely delighted. I really enjoyed the coffee at this place. Now, let's find an internet cafe so I can message my family back home and let them know I'm safe. Since there's no internet here, they haven't heard from me, so I need to let them know. And interestingly, they don't give addresses here with house numbers and street names. They'll say, "Oh, you want to go there? Just go near the Central Hotel, or go to the blue building, or the white building." That's how they identify addresses. In fact, the person who sent my invitation letter for Eritrea, I asked him how to get to his office. I had someone call his number for me and I asked where his office was. He said it's near the Central Hotel. I said okay, but then wondered how I was supposed to find it. He explained that if I just came to the hotel and walked around a little, I would either run into him or come across the office myself. And I also asked about an internet cafe where I could send a message home. I was told to go to the blue building. Now, how am I supposed to find the blue building? It could be any blue building. This is the area near the cinema. Look over there. Cinema Impero. This is where they show their movies. This is one of the only few sources of entertainment in this country because there's no internet. You can't watch Netflix or Amazon Prime. So they come to the cinema to watch films. It looks like a crowd is gathering outside the cinema. And it's gotten pleasantly chilly now. As soon as the sun set, it got cold. That's why everyone was in jackets because it must get cold in the evenings here. And I'm in a short-sleeved shirt. Just across the road, I spotted the internet cafe. Let's go there. Dentista Cafe. Is it here or somewhere else? Maybe it's upstairs. I never thought I'd have to wander around this much just to send a single WhatsApp message. There is a dental clinic here. The internet cafe is upstairs, maybe. This area is deserted. But what's amazing is that there are no CCTV cameras or anything in the building. It's just like the old days. Man, I climbed all these stairs, and when I got to the top, they told me it's not here, it's next door. In the next building, perhaps. Okay. Two girls were just going in. I asked them where it was. They said to go back outside and head straight that way. The sign is here, but how? There's nothing here. They just put up a sign. Okay, they send me back outside. They're saying to go this way. Go inside those doors, through the gates that are visible. Let's get in. What else can we do? But man, it's so much fun just walking around here. Oh, look at this. They sell TV satellites, I think, and maybe repair TVs. They're even selling movie CDs on the side. Let's go into this building. I think the cafe is in here. Enjoy Telegram, Kevin Cyber Cafe, and graphics. Which one is it, though? Okay, so we've made it inside the internet cafe. Let's grab a seat. Alright. So they've given me this coupon code right here at the internet cafe. Here's the username and password. This cost 15 nakfa and it's valid for 1 hour. You only get a few megabytes of data with it, but you absolutely need a VPN. Without a VPN, it won't work. The guy followed me all the way up here asking for money. He even came inside and walked right up with me. And look at this cafe. See how everyone's sitting. They've got couches set up. Unlike our old internet cafes, we used to have computers. It's not like that. Everyone's just sitting here and connected on their phones to use WhatsApp, to use Instagram. And my coupon is now connected. This coupon code, it's valid for 1 hour. I took the 1 hour plan, which was for 15 nakfa. That's about $1. Yeah, exactly $1. About 87 Indian rupees. But they also told me that it won't run without a VPN. You need to have a VPN for the internet here. Downstairs, they had these posters up for WhatsApp, Instagram, saying you can scroll and use all these things. But they also mentioned it's going to be very slow. You can't watch YouTube videos or anything. You can only send messages on WhatsApp or even Instagram. A message might go through after a long time. Videos, reels, nothing will play. And you must have a VPN or it won't work at all because apps like WhatsApp are banned here in this country. I have connected it, but it's still not working for me. You can see the price list on the screen. They had different rates for 1 hour, 1.5, 2 hours. They had this whole price chart, this much payment for this many hours, so you can choose based on that. I just took the 1 hour plan to test it out, but guys, it's not working. I've heard they have workarounds for everything here. I have an iPhone. On Android, it works easily. Let me try disconnecting and reconnecting. Maybe it'll work. I have ExpressVPN, but that's not working here. This country has its own specific VPNs that I should have downloaded beforehand. Although I did download 2 or 3, but the ones I got aren't working either. There's probably another VPN that works, but I don't have that specific VPN. I'm trying to see if the internet will work at all. Dude, I thought my internet wasn't working, but it looks like it is. Actually, it's working so slow. It feels like it's not working at all. I mean, it's been 10 minutes since I connected, and so far only one notification has loaded, and that wasn't even from WhatsApp. I got one Instagram notification for a message, but Instagram won't even open. Firstly, there's no speed in this country. It's 2G, perhaps not even 2G, maybe 1G, and on that 1G speed, there are more than 15 people connected right now. So you can just imagine what the situation is. Everyone else is just sitting like this, on couches, on chairs, trying to use the internet. People send a message and then just forget about it. It gets delivered after a long time. It gets sent, then received. This is how people use the internet here, sitting on chairs. Mine's not working at all. It's been half an hour. And still, nothing is opening. Man, where am I stuck? Nothing is loading at all. The people sitting here, they send one message from their phone and then they start chatting with the other people sitting in the cafe. Because it takes so long for one message to be delivered, they're not just gonna sit staring at their phones, right? How else do you pass the time? So they hit send and start talking to the people around them. In the meantime, their message gets delivered. A few minutes later, they check their phone again once it's delivered. I'm starting to find this really funny, man. And it's been over half an hour since I came here. I'm trying to download a single photo, and that photo still hasn't downloaded. I've basically given up. I don't think it's going to happen. And it was so difficult to even send one message. I managed to send a message to my brother to tell everyone at home that I'm fine, I'm safe and alive. For so long, it just kept saying network lost, connection lost. It kept disconnecting, nothing was working. But somehow that message just got delivered to him. But man, it's just so funny that today when we use 5G with speed of hundreds of megabits per second, and here, Look, since I've been here, that one photo still hasn't downloaded. I'm leaving now. I've given up, man. I've accepted defeat. Let's get out of here. Alright, I'm out of the cyber cafe. So it was a 1 hour session, and I sat there for pretty much the whole time. I completed my 55-minute session. But after that, I just gave up since nothing was happening. I needed to download one photo from Instagram. That photo didn't download for the entire duration. Apart from that, I tried one Google search about Eritrea's weather just for my own knowledge. That Google search didn't even open. The third thing I wanted to do was message my brother. And that message went through. So finally, one thing worked out. And you know, when I first walked in there, I asked them, how much data do I get for 1 hour? The girl at the reception didn't speak much English, but there was a guy sitting on the side. He explained it to me in English. He said, there's no limit. It's unlimited data. You can use it as much as you want in 1 hour. I thought, that's awesome. In 1 hour, I can easily burn 2 to 3 GB. I'll make good use of this. But when I actually used the data, after an hour, I realized that no matter how much you try, you can't even use more than 5 megabytes because it just doesn't work. The speed is that slow. So technically it was unlimited for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. And we think, great, it's unlimited. We can get all our uploads and downloads done. Forget about it, guys. Just forget it. Nothing's going to happen. Forget videos. Even a photo wouldn't download. I sat there for so long, hitting refresh again and again. That photo just wouldn't open. So basically, in 1 hour, you just get really frustrated. You can barely use maybe 5 or 6 megabytes. And that's only if you non-stop keep hitting refresh. The people sitting there would just send a message and forget they even sent it. They'd look up, look at the ceiling, chat with people around them. And then after a while, they'd check their phone to see if the message was delivered. It felt so strange to see this situation in this day and age, but at the same time, it feels kind of nice. I feel disconnected from the world. One message got through to my family, so now there's no tension. At least they know I'm alive at home. I'm not feeling the usual stress of daily life. We're always on our phones with 5G running. Nowadays, we don't even turn off our mobile data. There was a time when we only got internet access occasionally. It feels like those days are back, except I'm not really getting any internet here. And what I am getting, well, you saw what that's like. So in a way, it's good. It feels like no phone calls are coming in, no messages. Just live in your moment, live in the present. It actually feels really good, seriously. By the way, my WhatsApp didn't work at all. Nothing came in, nothing went out, nothing would open in WhatsApp. So as I was leaving, I asked them why my WhatsApp didn't work. They said, you've got an iPhone, right? It won't work on iPhones, you need a VPN. I said, I've already tried all my VPNs. He replied, no, there's a special one. Go to the nearby market, look for a guy named Temaskin at the electronics shop. He'll install the VPN that makes WhatsApp work. On Androids, it's fine, but iPhones have this issue. So let's go see if we can find this Temaskin guy. Okay, we're outside. Now, where is that electronics shop that guy mentioned? He said it was somewhere around here, I think. I think the place he mentioned is where I was earlier. Maybe this is the electronics shop. Let me ask. I need to get to Sweet Sounds to meet Tofgu. Just saying his name into the camera so I don't forget it. The guy from this shop said, go straight, then take a right, then a left. He said the Central Hotel will be there. Near the Central Hotel, there is an electronics shop called Sweet Sounds. I can find Tofgu there. He'll install the VPN on my phone. And Central Hotel, that's where my guide said his office is. Let's find the Central Hotel then. Okay, I've come straight. Now I have to take a right from here and then a left later. All around me are shops selling CD cassettes. People here still buy cassettes. They use a player and put in their cassettes to listen to music. Things we used to do 10 to 15 years ago. There are so many electronics shops like this one. They seem to have a workaround for everything here. Now I need to take a left here. I have to find the Sweet Sound shop now. I went to another shop, and here too, you can get games and apps loaded onto your phone. I mean, things that we do in seconds on the internet today, they have dedicated shops for those things here. Like getting games installed for passing the time, getting movies loaded onto your phone from a pen drive. There's a whole market for it. And on the roadside, they're selling jeans and stuff. I've walked through the whole market and couldn't find Sweet Sounds. I see it now, finally, let's go in. This guy will add the VPN, lots of people said so. Look at this TV, guys. The shop still has this old television set. And look here, an iPod second generation. I think this must be from who knows how many decades ago. This isn't even a phone, it doesn't have apps or cameras, it's simply dedicated to playing songs. And yet, for the people here, it still feels like a remarkably advanced piece of technology. What's considered vintage or even obsolete in the rest of the world is still very much alive and in use today. Okay, I've met Tofgu. He was a really nice, helpful guy. He connected my phone to his laptop. There were a couple of old phones lying around. This is the kind of work he does. He connected it, and through iTunes he said, I'll install a VPN on your phone. In this country, he said all VPNs are banned, so they don't work. But you'll have to do a hit and try. Who knows which VPN might just work. I'm installing several VPNs on your phone. I said, go for it, brother. After installing them, he handed my phone back. I asked, is it done? How many did you install? He said, I've installed 18 VPNs on your phone. Keep trying all of them repeatedly. Who knows which one might work, or maybe none of them will. I asked, is there an internet cafe nearby where I can go and try them out? He said, no, not here. Even if it works, the speed is too low. Go to the blue building. So I asked, how far is it from here? He said, there's no point in going now. You'll have to go tomorrow. You're too late. I'll survive one more day. I'll spend one more evening without the internet. And then Tofgu started apologizing to me and said they have this problem in their country and I must be getting frustrated. He even apologized for making me go through this. I said, no, brother. First of all, how is it your fault? And it's actually a good thing. I'm actually enjoying being disconnected. I'm just getting this done as a backup, just in case there's an emergency or something. I don't even need to use the internet right now. It's evening and it's gotten cold. My hotel is, I think I've walked 2 to 3 kilometers away from it. It's 8 p.m. now, and I don't think I'll find any gym open at this time. And there were so many shops, the kind where you can get mobile games loaded, CDs, DVDs, and also internet cafes, just like the one I went to earlier. There were many such cafes with people just sitting on couches, waiting, trying to use the internet, just hoping the connection would finally kick in. After wandering for the last 1.5 kilometers, I've accidentally ended up right back where I started, in the lane just outside Tofku's shop. It's really crowded here. This street honestly feels like a market. People are just out, walking around, doing their thing. After dark, the whole place really comes alive. I'm pretty sure this is their main nightlife spot too. It's probably even more crowded now that it's dark, while the other roads have emptied out. I'm back on their main road. I'm looking for some young muscular guys. I'll ask them if there's a gym nearby. I'll have to ask people because I have no Google Maps, no internet, and I won't even find a listing online, even if a gym exists. People on the street are stopping to look at posters to see which movie is playing. The walls here are covered with all type of different posters. This street really got active after dark. I wonder where all these people are going.
Wait, Apati. Where is it? Abadi. Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you.
They told me about some cathedral, Enda Mariam, something. They said go to that cathedral and there's a gym near it. They were speaking their own language, but I somehow understood. They said everyone goes to the gym that's near it. They said once you reach the cathedral, you'll find it. I have offline Google Maps downloaded, so somehow I found the cathedral, but it's 1 kilometer from here. The crowd here is at its peak. All the young people are out at this time. It's not as crowded here as it was outside the main cathedral. There were so many young people there. Here they are selling chocolates, biscuits, sunglasses, party supplies maybe. A left from here should take me to Enda Mariam Cathedral. By the way, it's gotten cold now at night. Flyness office, the airline I flew here with, is here. They told me it's in this lane. I asked a few more people again. You'll find bakeries in every lane and the smell of fresh bread as you walk through them. And you'll see lots of cafes, pizzerias, various coffee shops. And they're not empty, I mean they're all full. Suddenly I'm in a deserted lane and I can hear the sound of iron clanking. Found the gym. Universal Gym? Here it is, let's go inside. I got a 1-day pass for 30 nakfa. If you do the math, that's not even $3, so it's like less than $3 for a day pass. The gym closes at 9 p.m. and the time now is 8:15. Actually, it's past that, 8:17. So I have very little time to complete my exercise. I have 40 minutes. Let's work out. The name of the gym, by the way, is Dawit Abadi Universal Gym. That's why the guys were saying Abadi when I asked where the gym was. There I am in the mirror. Look at the kids here working hard. Dude, this one area smells so bad. It's hard to exercise over here. They've made a bathroom back there. People are showering there, urinating there. It smells so bad behind this area. It's 2 minutes to 9 and I have one set left. All exercises are done. This is the last one. I'll finish and put the dumbbells away. They're just waiting for me. I'll put them back myself. Alright, exercise complete. I said goodbye to the guys in the gym who were helping me to lift weights and put them back. Let's go. It's exactly 9 p.m. and it's really cold outside the gym, although my body is still warm. Look at this school van. My hotel must be around 3 kilometers from here. That's not too far. Maybe I'll just run there. Okay, on the way, I came across this restaurant, Gibabo. I think it's a famous restaurant here, so I thought I'd just stop here. Here we are at Gibabo restaurant. This place seems nice. It's got a good crowd, and you can clearly tell by local standards it must be a pretty nice restaurant. Let's see the menu. Wow, they have a really big menu. Generally, all I've seen here are pizzerias. Everywhere I look, it's spaghetti, pizza, pasta, that's all you get. Because they're all Italian restaurants, right? But a place like this is probably rare. They have such a huge menu. What is kicha? Kicha must be some local dish of theirs. The Eritrean rate is 65 Eritrean nakfa. 65 Eritrean nakfa means that's like $4 or $5. That's actually pretty cheap. It looked like a fancy restaurant. A cheeseburger is also 60 nakfa. That's also around $4. Man, things are cheap here. Okay, let's order something. The injera that they eat in Ethiopia, they have the same injera here. This dish looks pretty similar. But look, personally, I really don't like injera. I was looking at the drinks menu and then my eyes fell on the beer section. I couldn't believe it. Look at the rate of beer, 15 Eritrean nakfa. Absolutely unbelievable. That's roughly about $1 for a beer. I mean, can you imagine? A beer for under $1 in a nice, well-decorated cafe like this is just amazing. A beer this cheap, it's almost too good to be true. Guys, when was the last time you saw people in a restaurant truly enjoying the moment like they're here? Nobody is on their phone because there's no internet, no Wi-Fi in the restaurant. People are talking, eating their food. I ordered a ginger tea before my meal. And every single person is just enjoying the moment, spending time with their family, talking, eating. Nobody is glued to their phones. Otherwise, what are our dinner tables usually like? Every person is on their phone, using WhatsApp, posting a story on Instagram, taking pictures of the food. Nobody seems to live in the moment anymore. I really love this thing about this country. Oh wait, I think they gave me a complimentary soup. And I was actually in the mood for some soup today. Since the weather is cold, I was about to order it. But I guess they gave some bread and soup on the house. That's nice. Most of the options on the menu were either beef or fish. So I just ordered their spaghetti. I don't usually eat pasta, but it's famous here. So let's try it. And now my ginger tea has arrived. This tastes too much like instant noodles. I can't eat it. I'm just going to order some milk. Okay, I finished my meal. The bill came to 115 nakfa, which is around $8. It wasn't that expensive. I mean, considering how nice this restaurant was for the area, although I couldn't get any milk. They said they ran out of milk for the day. Now I don't know if I'll sleep well. I usually can't without drinking milk. And I haven't bought any groceries today either. I didn't go to a supermarket or anything. Usually I do that as soon as I arrive in a new country. And it's gotten quite late now. If I find milk on the way, I'll buy it. Otherwise, I'll drink it at some restaurant. It's night time and there's a pleasant chill in the air. I asked the restaurant manager. I said, it's my first day here and I need to get back to my hotel. It's already 10:30 p.m. I asked if it is safe to walk outside alone at this time. He said, this is the kind of country where you can leave your doors wide open and go to sleep. Nothing will happen. So that's one thing. Countries where almost all decisions and powers rest with a single person. I've said this before, generally these countries are very safe. That's why, without asking anyone on my very first day, I'm wandering around late at night. Sometimes at the gym, sometimes in these dark alleys. So yeah, Eritrea is definitely safe in this sense. Obviously everything has its pros and cons. But for these countries, this is definitely a pro that they're safe. And there's a nice chill in the air. Along with this, Eritrea has all kinds of weather in a way. It's also called the country of 3 seasons in 2 hours. It's called this because it has different elevation. The place where I'm currently in, it's above sea level and it's mountainous, so it's cold in these areas. Then if you go to the areas near the sea in the coastal regions, they have a coastal weather, meaning there's humidity and a pleasant warmth. And besides that, the Danakil Depression is also here, which is one of the hottest places on earth. It's 100 meters below sea level. So obviously if it's below sea level, it's going to be hot, and it's one of the hottest places in the world. And the places with high elevation above sea level are pleasantly cold. Then the areas near the sea have a coastal weather. There's a cool sea breeze, there's humidity and a pleasant warmth. So within 2 hours you can travel to their coastal areas. You can go to the high elevations to feel the mountain cold, and you can also go to their arid areas, the Danakil Depression or the deserts, to feel the extreme heat. That's why they say that in 2 hours you can experience 3 seasons. You know, that manager was right. It's late at night, but even girls are walking around alone like this without any tension. Back home in Delhi, you can't walk like this at night, especially girls. Let's see if I can find milk at this kiosk. Nope, this guy was just selling cigarettes. There's one more. This kiosk had milk powder, not a bottle or a carton. Oh well, what can you do? Let's end today's video here. If I get lucky and find milk on the way, that would be great. I'll buy it and go to sleep. Let's call it a day. Tomorrow we will properly explore the city of Asmara, and if we can go somewhere else, we'll go there too. Alright, goodbye.